So this is not deep relaxation, but I do recommend doing this meditation lying down because the subject of the meditation is vulnerability. And looking at the vulnerability of my body, of my life, of old age, sickness and death. So it's easier to surrender when we're lying down. So preparing the posture in the lying down position, releasing the tensions in the body, releasing the weight to the ground, preparing the mental posture, releasing mental tensions, releasing thoughts, ideas, and just paying attention without any tension. In touch with my hair, I see that my hair is constantly changing. Its color over time, its length, its texture. Hair is always changing. In touch with my eyes, I see that my eyes are also changing and are dependent on many elements. My sight requires coordination of nerves and muscles, perceptions. I also contemplate the many conditions that can interfere with the functioning of my eyes. The decline in my eyesight, infections, swellings, nerve conduction being disrupted. So many things can go wrong with these eyes. In touch with my nose, my sense of smell, and seeing the many conditions that can affect my nose. Swellings, infections, blockages. Being in touch with my nose in both good health and not good health. and touching my ears, in touch of the many components of my ears, hairs, crystals, drum, and in touch with the decline of my hearing, with infections, with dizziness, loss of balance, when my ears are not working so well. Touching my mouth and the tongue and teeth and gums, acknowledging tooth decay, gum infections, loss of taste, the many possibilities of the conditions of my mouth. Looking at my throat, thyroid, airways, esophagus, and seeing the many conditions that can affect my throat, swellings, growths, cancers. Looking at my heart, looking at muscle strength, muscle coordination, the coordination of the valves and the muscles and the nerve signals, looking at blocked arteries, leaking valves, obstructed valves, weakened muscles, uncoordinated rhythms. So many things can go wrong with this heart. So many things come together to make this heart work the way it does. And bringing my attention to my lungs, the expansion and contraction of the lungs, the movement of the diaphragm, in touch with what happens when my lungs decline, infections, thickening, as well as thinning of the pleura, shortness of breath, cough, phlegm. In touch with my stomach, the sphincters controlling entry and exit, the acid production, recognizing conditions like ulcers and cancers, and recognizing my liver and my spleen and my whole lymph system, detoxifying and protecting, and seeing the possibilities of growths, of accumulations, blockages, and infections throughout my lymph and blood systems. Looking at my intestines, in touch with the movement and the absorption capacity of my intestines, and also in touch with knots and twists and blockages, thickening or thinning of the walls of the intestines, malabsorptions, growths, parasites. In touch with my kidneys and the filtration of the blood, constant flow of blood and production of urine. Seeing the possibilities of obstruction, stones, leaking, growths, and cancers. In touch with my bladder, its elasticity, its sphincters coordinating. I also see infections, inflammations, obstructions, weakness, growths and accumulations. All are possible here. And bringing my attention to my arms and hands, seeing circulation, coordination, muscle strength, and also seeing the many possibilities when these arms lose conditions of wellness, pain, loss of strength, shaking, in touch with my legs and my feet, in touch with strength, and also in touch with pain, loss of balance, loss of strength, loss of movement, and touching my brain, the state of millions of neurons, lipids feeding and protecting nerve bundles, and observing what happens when all this wiring gets scrambled, even in very, very small ways. Possibilities of strokes and dementia, and touching the changing states of my mind, anger, fear, grief, joy, craving, satiation, in touch with the mind as it keeps changing colors. This body mind is dependent on the coordination of lots of different kinds of movements, elements, nourishments, intelligence. Too much or too little movement shifts and changes the balance. There are billions of us manifesting the conditions that sustain human existence. And yet the state of this organism is a miracle. It is a precious coincidence, depending on the coming together of so many conditions. When these conditions do not come together in just the right way. My body and my mind no longer work in the way I am accustomed to, or the way I want them to. And when conditions connect even less, this body-mind ceases to exist. I embrace all the conditions and all the comings together and moving apart. I embrace all the possibilities. This precious human existence, this human birth, this human decline, and this human death. I smile to the star that's still shining in the sky, to the sun that slowly guides us out of the night, to the day that begins, to the enchanting bird. I smile to the world, and the world smiles to me. I smile to the child that crosses my way. I remember also all those who are hungry, those who live in misery all over the planet, who have to face the war, who have lost their mother. If sometimes my smile is moistened by tears, when I see the great pain that spreads all over the world, I shall still be smiling with tears in my eyes, smiling to life, smiling to death. And one day will come when it is bitterly cold, when even my footsteps will not leave anymore. The never-ending current of life's energy will carry me away, and I shall not look back. The fear will no longer block my way. My heart finally opens very wide. Then I will become the smile of the earth, of the flower, of the birds, of the sun and the rain. And one day, perhaps, in a very small child, I shall open my eyes to the wonders of life, and a little more loving, and a little more smiling, I shall continue this wonderful way. And a little more loving, and a little more smiling, I shall continue this wonderful